So hello guys, this is my friend and coworker Let. I've known her since we started working together here 3 years ago. She was born in New York. However, she has been living here for the past 10 years. And she's going to tell us a little bit about the process. She had a surgery called gastric sleeve, and this is a process that consists in removing like 75 to 80% of your stomach. So she's going to tell us a little bit about the background and also why she decided to practice this surgery, and also what came with this process, the consequences, and her lifestyle and everything that changed. So she's going to tell us a little bit about it. And yeah, so hi Arlette, how are you?
Hi, how are you?
I'm fine, thank you. So let us know, how did you know about this process?
Well, I found out about the process through a friend. She practiced the surgery for herself, and she had great results with the surgery. I saw pictures of her before, pictures after, and I was with her before and after. So I do know for her it was great. So that gave me something to consider whether or not I wanted to practice the surgery as well.
Yeah, like a kind of motivation for you to do it.
Exactly.
I think that the motivation that you needed at the time was looking for the before and after. That's kind of what you need in that
Yes.
case. And why did you decide to practice this?
Well, I had struggled my whole life with being overweight. I've taken, I took all the pills that you could think of, all the diets that you could think of. I went to clinics. I did different procedures. I spent. I'm not even gonna mention how much money I spent, and I sometimes I lost the weight, but then I gained it back. So I thought it was time for me to, do maybe this is a little bit drastic, and I think that this would be like the last step that I could take regarding my weight. Also, another one of the factors was that I went to the cardiologist because of before the surgery. I went to the psychiatrist. I went to the nutritionist, many doctors that I had to see, and one of them was a cardiologist because he had to let me know if whether or not my heart was going to be strong enough or it was weak, whether or not was going to be able to take that risk in going to that surgery. But he told me that actually it was a great idea for me to practice the surgery because if I did not do that, then in a couple of years I will be suffering from heart failure. So that was something like an alarm in my head, something that made me think about it. And actually, I was very, very sad about it once I found out about that. But it was great, and thank God that I was able to practice the surgery for myself.
So it was because of two reasons, because you wanted to look different, and because of your health.
Exactly.
Yeah. So, since this is an important decision, what about your family and friends? What did they think about it?
Well, once I decided that I wanted to have the surgery, I took it over, of course, with my husband, with my mom, my dad, my sister, my brother, my close friends, and everyone, told me that if I felt that this was something that I wanted to do, and they know how I've struggled my whole life with the weight, that they would support me and they would be there for me and help me out because you do need a lot of help sometimes.
Of course. Yeah, it's not a decision just of your own.
Exactly.
You need to take into consideration, the
Mm-hmm.
ones you love advice too. So, I don't know too much about this surgery, but maybe you can tell me, were you aware about the risks of this process?
Well, yeah, it was like you mentioned at the beginning of the interview. They do remove like 85% of your stomach. They staple it back together with staples. So it's very, very small. So I'm able to eat very like not a lot. At the beginning of the surgery, I was only able to take like ounces of drinks, juice or apple juice or grape juice or Gatorade or those kind of drinks, water, like every 20 minutes, and that was all that I could take. And now, like giving you an example, let's say, something that everybody knows, like let's say like a cheeseburger from McDonald's. I'm able to have like 2 bites and I'm full. I can't eat anymore.
And what happens if you eat more than that?
If I eat more, then I will feel sick and I will want to go in and I need to throw up if that's the case, because my stomach can handle that much. So it's only a certain amount of food and that's able to hold. So that's why I have to, be
And
careful what I eat.
yeah. So do you still have those staples there
Oh
in
yeah,
your stomach?
yeah. They're still in the stomach. They're gonna be there forever.
Yeah.
And yes, before the surgery, of course, I Googled it. I went to see, all the risks. I saw that the mortality rate wasn't as high as other surgeries. There's a lot of things, that you hear about, people talk bad about the surgeries, and there are other surgeries such as the bypass and stuff,
Yeah.
which those have a larger mortality rate than this one. So, you know, I Googled it. I read everything that I could, and it made me decide that the more I read, the more I knew that I needed to have the surgery.
And I imagine that this is an expensive process, right? I
It
mean,
is. It is.
it takes a lot of steps for you to do it.
Oh yes.
Not only to say I want to, but to as you mentioned, see a lot of doctors and everything.
I
And
had
the money,
to.
of course.
Yes, I had to go to many appointments with the surgeon, and also, of course, she told me you have to get you have to go and see the cardiologist and the general doctor, and you have to see the psychiatrist, because there's a lot of things that it's not just it's they have to see that you are able to take the risk and that you're able to handle it afterwards, because a lot of people, one of the problems that they have is that the anxiety, and if you
Yeah.
get anxious, and that anxiety could like make you even feel more stressful, and it's not going to be good for your health either, because before the surgery, I remember when I was in the surgery room, many doctors came up to me to tell me, are you aware of what they're going to do to you? Because it's like you're restraining yourself from being able to have a normal life and to eat. So you have to know what they're going to be doing to you. So
So you received a lot of information before doing this
Exactly.
from someone else,
Exactly.
doctors and professionals and
mhm.
everyone. So you mentioned about your eating habits and your lifestyle. Do you think that those two things have changed a lot?
Yes, they have. They, of course, they have. Since you're not able to eat as much, of course, you do have to know what you have to eat. So you still, you have to change a lot. Stop eating fast food and eat more, and things that are more nutritionist, such as fruits, and more eat healthy. I of course need to. I kept on seeing the nutritionist. I've lost a lot of weight. Um, I've lost like 60 pounds up to right now. So that's like 30 kilos. So, but I still have a long way to go, and I'm still doing it, and I'm losing weight every day.
Yeah, and what was the recovery period for you to to be totally recovered?
Well, it's like around 6 months, because it's 1 month. I didn't come to work for 1 month, but then after that, it takes like around 6 months, because internally, I have to wait until everything is it's ready to,
Yeah.
so I can exercise and stuff.
And how do you feel now in comparison to the past before the surgery?
Oh, I feel better now. I feel more secure. I've always had issues with my self esteem. And now I feel very different than how I felt before. I even have plans now, going back to school and things like that. So
Yeah, it's amazing how something like this, like your weight, is like something that is not letting you do or achieve your dreams, right?
exactly.
In some way. So now that you feel more confident with yourself, do you have any future plans?
Yes, well, like I said, because of my self-esteem, I had issues with finishing maybe my career and going. So now I plan on going back to school. Um, One of the other reasons why I also wanted to have the surgery is because I'm 37. I'm married. I've been married for a while. I want to have children. So with me losing the weight, that was my I know that achieving all my dreams and achieving my goals are it's going to be a lot easier now than it was before.
Yeah,
So yeah.
I understand. So, thank you very much, Arlette, for sharing this information with us. I know this is important, and it's kind of also private information for
Yes.
you. It's not something that you want to share with everyone, but it's great to see your results. I know, I knew her before the surgery, and I know what the way you are now. So it's great to see big results on you, and I really want to thank you for sharing this with us. And I want to also encourage someone, people who take this kind of decisions, big decisions, and put them in place if they want to, have a better lifestyle.
Yes, and one of the reasons that I wanted to do the interview with a topic like this is because if this can help anybody, if this can help someone that it's maybe thinking of whether or not they want to, have this surgery or procedure like this, I recommend it. I would tell anyone to go for it. And also, there are other ways you could also, I know that exercising, I know that eating healthy is very important.
It's a whole.
Yes, and you can also achieve it like that mostly when you're young. It's easier when people are young to do this. And sometimes for myself, I didn't understand when I was, with the overweight and everything, and I was at my house and I was younger. My mom, my dad, everyone that loved me, my family, everyone was like telling me to do something about it. And I didn't want to listen because I thought, they were just bothering me. But now I know that they were doing it because they care. And sometimes we forget that.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that are always going to be there, and they're going to be supportive of you.
So thank you, Arlette, for your advice, and yeah, I appreciate your time.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you.
you.